I never forget one time I was running by a graveyard when I was trying to become, I was fat. And I ran by a graveyard and I looked out there and I have all these epiphanies, man. I have all these moments of like, it's crazy, man, of just thought. Cause I'm always by myself and always in deep thought about how to be better. And I look out there, I'm like, man, I wonder how many of you in there just are so upset with how you lived your life. And just regret how you lived it. And I'm running a 300-pound man thinking, man, don't die like this, bro. Don't die like this. So people wonder where this comes from me. It comes from such deep thought of trying to see what this is all about. What is this life all about? What am I all about? Why am I here? You know, I had to find purpose. And my suffering, it had a purpose. It had a purpose.
That's the fear. The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
Yep.
I could have been great. 5 years ago, you're in this bad situation where your body's not working right. Now everything's working great again.
Well, I had 2 heart surgeries also.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, you know.
What was wrong with your heart?
So I had a hole in it. So, you know, you're not supposed to have a hole in your heart and be a SEAL. And
Were you born with it?
I was born with it. It went undetected. And me pushing so hard. So in 2009, I was training for this race across America. And I just couldn't go anymore. Another pitfall in my life was the hole. And I was pretty much off active duty SEAL for 3 years. You know, I had 2 heart surgeries, them trying to fix it. So the hole was significantly large.
Like how big?
They say it was as big as a quarter. I'm like, how the hell is it as big as a quarter? Yeah, that's a pretty big hole in your heart. They went and they took this helix patch, they placed it in there, and then they found out 6 months later that the hole wasn't covered up enough yet. Because the hole was, and the helix patch was very damn big. So they go back in there in 2010.
How does the patch adhere to your heart?
I guess your heart heals around the patch. Man.
So they put that patch in.
Yep.
And now your heart's 100%?
It's 100%. It's 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I was losing, blood, and I was bad off.
Which is amazing that you were able to do all that with a hole in your heart.
That's what the doctors were saying, because they didn't know I was a SEAL. So when I went in, and the doctor that found the hole, so they gave me EKGs, all this stuff. Once again, man, it's after I ran like 205 miles,
Right.
Like, man, you're in great shape. I'm like, man, I just don't feel good. Like walking up the stairs is making me jacked up. So the doctor, Doc Shrek, he's like, gave me EKG. He goes, go to the doctor, get an echocardiogram. So I'm in there getting an echocardiogram, just chilling out in there, and the guy's talking to me, has this little wand in my heart about stuff, and when people get quiet, not good, man. Yeah. So he's in there, just has this wand in my heart, chilling out. Yeah, man, what are you doing? Yeah, what's going on? And he says, I'll be right back. He goes and gets a doctor. Doctor comes in, puts the thing on my heart. The doctor gets another doctor. Now I'm just freaking the out. I'm like, okay, because when it comes to your heart, it's a big deal. So they come back in, they say, hey, we can stop the echocardiogram. When they talk to you out in the hallway, you have a hole in your heart. And the guy didn't know that he knew I was a Navy guy, but I don't think he knew I was a SEAL, because not many black guys are SEALs. And we had a conversation about, we got to fix this real quick. I said, yeah, then I came up that I was a SEAL. He said, man, you could have died jumping, you could have died diving, you could have died in all this stuff. Because basically, the hole in your heart, if it gets plugged with something, like anything, like, let's say you get a bubble from diving or something like that, you're going to die.
Right.
So I call it luck. I call it luck.
Wow.
So I got through 2 surgeries. They put me back on. I lost.
So they give you the first one,
Yep.
and then when did they realize that it's not good enough?
So they take you back in. You got to get a bubble study, a bubble test. So they like literally send bubbles that way, safe bubbles that way, to see if the bubble goes through your heart. So they have this echocardiogram again, and they hook you up, I think, to IV or something like that, and they throw these bubbles through your heart, and they see if it goes through. After 6 months, when it should have been healed up, the bubble went through. So they had to tell me then, hey, we gotta, you're not you're not good to go. So I had to take a year before I can have another surgery. Because
Why did it take a year?
because that patch had to be completely healed before they can go
but
back
all this
in it.
time, you knew you had a hole.
Right. So they knew I had a hole because of the heart surgery.
Right, but all this time, like when you're waiting for it to
Yes.
heal, you know you have an extra hole.
Yes, I know I have a hole.
And
Yes.
what were you allowed to do with your body then?
Well, at that time, they go, do how you feel comfortable. And so, the hole's not going to kill you right now. But you can't dive, you can't jump. I pretty much wasn't a SEAL anymore, so I was a recruiter for a period of time. So basically, I was crazy about that. Is before my second surgery, I was actually training for Delta Force. I wanted to go to Delta, and I was ruck running a lot. And before my second
When you ruck running, you mean you're running with a pack on?
yeah, a pack on my back with some weight on
How
it.
heavy is the pack?
50, 60 pounds.
And you run with that on?
Well, you're supposed to hike or hump, like ruck humping.
Right.
I ran with it because
Wow.
that's what I did.
Right.
So the day of heart surgery, I did a ruck run
Jesus
because
Christ.
I knew I was gonna be out of commission for a while. So fuck it, man, I gotta get my last one in, dude.
Jesus Christ.
So all I could do, I have my training log. So after my second heart surgery, all I could do was walk. So I became an ultra walker. Walked my ass off, and over a period of time, it took a year for that thing to heal up and to heal. My first bubble study after my second heart surgery came back negative or positive. The bubble went through again,
Oh no.
and they're gonna have to crack me open.
Oh man.
But over that period of time, my heart healed around that thing nicely, and I passed the second bubble test.
So the first bubble test was how long after? A year?
It was the first bubble test after the first surgery was
Right.
6 months.
And then you had to go through a full 6 months after that for it to
Right.
totally heal. Then you have the second heart surgery.
Right.
And when does the bubble test fail after the second heart surgery?
It was about 6 months.
Jesus Christ.
And they said, and the doctor looked at me and said, I'm sorry to inform you, man, we're going to have to crack your chest open the next time to really get in there. And so I sat back thinking this could be a third heart surgery. And then
that one.
they said we have to wait for 6 months to see if this thing's going to close up.
Right.
And I came back thinking, man, I'm about to get cracked to open. And that bubble got pinned up, man.
Wow.
Didn't go through.
Maybe force it through with your mind.
I know, right?
Pulls that bitch up. When you're visualizing.
That's it, man.
That's something to visualize. Holy shit, man. That is crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy you went on a ruck run with a hole in your heart, too.
Well, I did it for several years, so I said, I might as well keep on going, man.